We have reached the state semifinals as the Sherando Warriors with a huge win over the Salem Spartans to clinch their spot into the state Final Four in Class 4. They have a trip down to Hampton to face off against the Phoebus Phantoms. As always, joining me, the head coach of the Sherando Warriors, TJ Rohrbaugh. And Coach, I just want to start with last Friday night in that region game, back and forth, and you end up getting the win to win the region in Region 4D. Just take me through that game collectively and what really stood out to you about your team's performance.
Yeah, man, we got off to a slow start, but our kids just kept chipping away. We were able to battle back, and our kids play hard every week. They play with a lot of discipline. And I was just proud of them for the way they responded, being down early and then being able to come back and take the lead and win that football game. I think it really encapsulates just the type of kids we have on this team and how they've played all year.
In your mind, because this Warriors team was down 20-0 at the end of the first quarter, was there something that sort of clicked? Did you change something, or can you sort of touch on what you saw that sort of shifted the momentum to try to chip away at Salem's lead to eventually get the lead back?
No, I thought we shot ourselves in the foot. We did a couple things on discipline that were on discipline early. When you're playing against a team that's the caliber of Salem, and you do those types of things, they're going to capitalize on it, and they did early. We just preached to our guys that we just got to, stay focused and be more disciplined out there. And once we settled into the game and got used to the speed and how fast Salem was able to execute their offense and defense, and we did a pretty good job of just getting back to disciplined football, executing fundamentals, and doing our job, playing and play out. And we just stuck to the game plan, and it worked for us.
Defensively, you managed to block an extra point from Salem and managed to hold Salem when they tried to go for two. As a head coach, I would imagine that every point matters. And for your defense to block an extra point, hold Salem to without a 2-point conversion on that drive later in the game. How huge is it? And are you preaching to your team about every point matters and leaving those points off the board for Salem? That was pretty huge in this game for what I saw.
Absolutely, and that's something that I stress to those guys all the time. Whether we're lining up for a field goal or a PAT, or whether the other team's lining up for a field goal or a PAT, every point matters. We stress that with our guys every week when we go over special teams. We stress to our guys that it's important to make plays. So that was huge. But I'll tell you another thing that we constantly reinforce with our guys is whatever happened on the previous play doesn't matter. You just got to line up and focus on the next play. So when Salem scored that touchdown to go up 26-21, it's one of those things where our mindset is all right, they scored. That last play doesn't matter. We got to line up and get it done on this play, and our guys responded. They lined up and they got it done on that 2-point conversion attempt, and then ended up being a huge point in that football game.
Absolutely. So take a look I just want to get your thoughts on the last drive, because obviously you're down in enemy territory trying to drive close out the game. You go for it on a 4th and short, unable to pick up the first down there, and Salem's driving. Your defense seems to be doing a really good job getting into field goal range, Salem does, and a field goal goes off the upright with no time left. Can you just talk about that last drive and defensively how well they did able to hold Salem to a field goal that did not even make it in to secure the victory?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I'll tell you, our guys, we were able to take almost 8 minutes off the clock on our last offensive drive. We were kind of in an area there where we could have attempted to punt and pin them deep, but we thought, hell, we're going to let our guys go out here and try and get this first down. And unfortunately, we came up inches short. But we felt good about the way our defense was playing from the first quarter on. So we put our defense out there on the field, and they did enough to be able to make a difficult field goal attempt for Salem, and they weren't able to convert, so it worked out for us.
Absolutely. And I know I saw videos, Coach. The sideline just went erupt. Can I just get your thoughts on the emotions after that field goal hit off the upright with no time left to secure a region victory and a berth into the state Final Four?
It was a great feeling. We put a lot of time and effort and hard work into going out there and playing the best we can on Friday nights. And so, when you're able to come out on top, it's a little bit of validation of everything that you've put in to this team and everything that you work for, and it's definitely a good feeling.
I know each and every week you preach the same thing. You're just sticking to what the Warriors know what to do best and play their style football practice, not getting out of their routine. I know that. But this Saturday, traveling down to face a Phoebus team who is well known down in that area and is a powerhouse down that way. I just want to get your thoughts on what you've seen from Phoebus so far and sort of what is your scout on them going into this game on Saturday?
My scout on Phoebus is that they're a tremendous football team. They're big, they're athletic. There's no chinks in the armor. They got guys who can flat out play football all over the field. And on top of that, they're extremely well coached. Coach Blunt down there, he does a great job. Getting those kids to play within his offensive and defensive system. They're just a phenomenal, football team in all three phases of the game. It's a tough task, but, we've earned the right to go down there and take these guys on. They're the three-time defending state champs. They got the 47-game win streak, all that stuff that I've heard through the grapevine. This is where we want to be, and it's a tough task, but we're looking forward to the opportunity to go out there and compete and play together at least one more game.
And a pretty big road trip as well. I think like 3.5 hours, if I remember correctly, down to Hampton. How do you sort of, in a sense, with that road trip, sort of alleviate the stress of just sitting in a bus? Do you stop halfway? What is your philosophy to keep your players ready, their brains fresh, ready for a state semifinal game with a long road trip in front of them?
Planning is definitely essential. Me and the staff drew up an itinerary last weekend that we thought would give us the best opportunity to keep things as normal as possible for our kids. And, we're pretty detailed down to the minute, so we're going to try and make everything as seamless as possible and keep it as a normal experience in terms of our preparation and all those things that go into getting ready to play a football game.
Absolutely. Once again, the head coach of the Shenandoah Warriors, TJ Rohrbaugh, so gracious. First time as the Shenandoah Warriors get set for a Saturday matchup, traveling down to face Phoebus in the Class 4 state semifinals. Coach Rohrbaugh, as always, really appreciate your time and best of luck to you on Saturday, sir.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. I love you, man. Best in the business.